Hey, this is Dan Giesing, and welcome to another Star Citizen opinion video. This video is about the latest concept ship sale Star Citizen is having called the RSI Polaris. In wake of CitizenCon, Star Citizen has released a new concept ship for sale called the RSI Polaris, and it's on sale for $750 US. Did I actually buy one of these? Before we get into that, let's break down the Polaris. The Polaris is designed to be a fast and lethal component of the military's capital ship fleet, specifically designed for militia and private security usage, which is perfect for our organization, WHP. The lead designer of the Polaris was given the instructions to design a ship that embodies two things, being fast and being lethal. Officially, the Polaris is a Corvette-class ship with the capability to deliver massive torpedoes as an assault ship against other capital ships. The Polaris can hold a crew of 13 to 24 people. According to the brochure, the Polaris has a total of 7 turrets, 5 manned and 2 automated turrets, but we'll get into the specifics in a little bit. While the Polaris is billed as a lethal Corvette-class ship, it does have other functions. It is designed with some ship service capabilities, meaning it can repair other ships with its hangar capability of transporting one fighter-sized ship. It was mentioned that it can do minor repairs on a toasted ship, but it will not have extensive capabilities like that of the Crucible, which was a ship designed specifically for repairs. Officially, the Polaris includes the facilities to repair, rearm, and refuel a single fighter, light bomber, or support ship. The Polaris can also do search and rescue missions, light strike missions, and general security patrol. Basically, the Polaris is a multi-use flagship capable of many things, which makes it an interesting purchase for many Star Citizen organizations. Now let's take an in-depth look at the Polaris brochure. Alright, so we're going to get a little bit more in depth here. We're going to take a look at the RSI Polaris brochure, which is available on robertspaceindustriescom for you guys to thumb through as well. But I figured, hey, let's take a look at this. And these brochures were actually given away during CitizenCon. I only left mine there, unfortunately. But here's a good overhead view of ye old Polaris. And one of the things that should be interesting to see and kind of show you right here, this is where the hangar is. So this door opens like so north and south if you're looking at it like this, or east and west if you're looking at it orientated with this forward or this rotate around. But that's where a light fighter can get stored there. But this, I think, is the most well-known image of the Polaris that's been circled throughout the community. It's on the front page, but it says, here we go, the Polaris Corvette class patrol vessel represents the new tip of the spear for humanity's defense, able to insert itself into a situation, establish authority, and then quickly maneuver to safety. The Polaris possesses the perfect balance of power and speed. I don't disagree with that statement. And here you get a little look at the Polaris with the hangar opened up, which is nice. So you can see the Gladius fit in here. You could infer that there are a few other larger ships that you'll be able to see fit in there. And speaking of which, there was an image circulating on the Facebook group that I want to show you guys. So this image is of a mock-up of the 3D models of a different range of ships in the Polaris hangar. This is not an official image, but you can see here in the upper left-hand corner, the purple one that's the Gladius. And you see how much room there is. You can see a Warden, a Cutlass, a Hornet, a Gladiator, Saber, a wide range of Dragonflies fits in there, and even the Redeemer. None of this is official, but I thought it'd be interesting to see nonetheless, to see the potential capabilities of what ship the Polaris can actually transport with it. How the hangar opens is going to be important in terms of the wingspan of the ship that fits into it, which the new landing mode, when you hit N and automatically folds the wings, is going to be very helpful to that. This looks a little familiar if you've seen some of the capital ship videos. Here it gives a little more detail on the hangar. It says capable of housing 1 light fighter for combat support or utility vehicles for additional operational flexibility. Up front is the bridge, and there were a few complaints about the bridge and how it looks kind of basic and chopped up, specifically I guess on Reddit. I read the Star Citizen Reddit a lot, but in the back you have 2 main engines and 4 auxiliary thrusters to provide the Polaris with enough engine power to chase down fleeing outlaws and evade hostiles. So you have your top missile rack here, front torpedo launchers. You got cargo bay, entrance elevator, another cargo bay here. I think the hangar, I don't know why, but I feel like the hangar is the most prominent feature of this ship because it's unlike anything we've really seen. There are some back and front escape pods, which is nice. A docking ring, which we haven't even had a chance to look into yet in terms of how docking is going to work, but that's somewhere down the line for Star Citizen. One might say, hey, you can, here's the yield hangar that you slide in from. Out here is the mess hall, doubles as a recreation room to ensure not only the physical well-being of mental health, allowing the crew to operate with peak performance. So one of the things that is interesting, I don't think it's on this one, but it says that these tables and chairs actually retract into the floor, which is actually a nice feature. Here we go right here. You could go the mess hall from, a maybe cramped room with a lot of tables and chairs to everything being retracted. Here's another look at the hangar in full function, which I just feel that that's going to be really interesting and provide a different type of gameplay element. Not only being able to launch a fighter, but also returning that fighter back to the Polaris to get repaired, refueled, and etc., etc. This is probably my favorite sheet in my favorite page of the entire brochure, because it gives you the comparison, which that's what everyone is always concerned about when a new ship is released, is what is the size comparison. So this is the largest ship in the game, the Bengal carrier. It's 1,000 meters long. The Javelin is 345. The Idris, which is currently the largest purchasable ship, is 239 meters long. And this is the Polaris Corvette. So you see it's clocking it at 155, which is about 55 meters longer than the Starfarer. So up here, these are manned turrets. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top turrets that are manned. There's one turret underneath on the front that is automated. You got your thrusters in the back, heat exhaust, and then this is the underneath view. So you have a rear turret that is also automated. Look, cargo access doubles as a ramp when landed. Okay, so cargo slides into the side DMs, and the cargo can hold 216 units. Okay, one of the big features of the Polaris is the fact that it can house a large amount of torpedoes that can be reloaded to assault capital ships. I just wanted to take a look at this with you guys briefly, just so you can see, for people that do like to look at, what kind of hard points, all that stuff is available on Robert Space Industries. So to answer the $750 question, did I buy a Polaris? No, I didn't. We bought a Polaris. When the Polaris was released, there was a big discussion in our Discord channel about if we should buy one for the organization. I said I would definitely throw in if there was interest, and what ended up happening is a bunch of people in the organization put some money together so we could buy one for our crew. Personally, I have a max limit that I gave myself in terms of an amount of money I will spend on a single ship, and $750 is way outside that. But as a collective organization, we did buy one for the org, and I'm fired up. And also, I'm fired up that we were able to buy it at a discounted price due to the fact that we bought it in the pre-sale. So why did we buy one? Because it's massive. It's the second largest ship that's been available for sale for us to buy outside the game. But more importantly, it gives WHP, our Star Citizen organization, a flagship. It's now the centerpiece and flying HQ of our organization. It also gives us a true multi-crew situation. It's been said that you can't just whip out a Polaris for a Sunday stroll, so it would be fun to have a full-on organization operation every time we use it. Think of it almost like a World of Warcraft raid. The other thing the Polaris will allow us to do, it will allow us to post up in areas and stamp down a WHP presence optimal for credential and UEE paper checking. And on top of all that, having a Polaris in the fleet is going to make for some great videos for the channel. So now the question is, should you buy one of these? In my opinion, if you want a Corvette class ship, yes, you should buy this. If you want one of the largest ships in the game that's available to purchase, yes, you should buy this. If you have a crew to play with, I think you should buy this. If you're a collector, you're probably going to want to buy this. And if you like massive ships in the game, you're going to want to buy this. Who shouldn't buy this ship? You definitely shouldn't buy this ship if you don't have a large amount of disposable income and if you don't have a crew to play with. Yes, you can play this with an NPC crew, but it's not going to be optimal. On top of that, I don't know how many more opportunities there are going to be to buy massive ships in the game. Outside of the Idris, this is the second largest buyable ship in the game. So for We Have Papers, our Star Citizen organization, this was a great fit. And of course, this would not have been possible for our organization to buy one of these ships without the help of a handful of people. I want to thank Smugs42, Crimson Claymore, Duke Lido A, Revok, Packet, Vigenta, Adsta, Landaman, Flying Chop, and Dead to Rights, all for throwing in as a collective so we could buy one of these for our organization. I truly appreciate your support. What do you think of the RSI Polaris? Let me know what you think of this Corvette class ship in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. If you guys did enjoy it, clicking the like button does help out a ton, and I appreciate everyone that does that. And as always, if you guys enjoy Star Citizen, I encourage you guys to subscribe because we post a new Star Citizen gameplay video every single morning here on the channel at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.